Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mind, Body, Breath practice today. My name is Devin, and yoga was really something that has helped me stay grounded and helped me in my sobriety journey. It's something that is extremely important to me and that I'm passionate about. And I feel like it's something that can really ground us as we are working towards recovery, sober curious, staying away from alcohol, whatever your path may be. So today we are going to be focusing on breath. Oftentimes our mind and body become disconnected, whether it's from a busy day or relationships or chores that we have at home. And when we're on an alcohol-free journey, that can look like a lot of stress and anxiety when our body and mind become separated. But there is one thing that we can use, and that is breath, to bring the mind and body back together. The average human takes about 22,000 breaths a day. That's a lot of breaths, and most of those are automatic. They're shallow, they're fast-paced, but if we can slow that breath down, connect it to the mind and body, we can actually use that to help calm ourselves. I know I used to reach for a glass of wine after a long day at work, and being alcohol-free, that has become something that is difficult. So I really use breath to help calm me. When we're breathing slowly and deeply, it can actually activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest and digest state. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I want to ask you to really focus through the movement on the breath and try to flow and sync them together as much as you're able to today. But of course, always listen to your body, do what feels right. Make sure that you have any props that you may need for today. I like to use blocks. I only have one block today, so I found a box. Feel free to grab anything that'll work. Stack books, soup cans I've seen, so grab those. I also like to have a blanket. You can use a blanket or a bolster if you have a bolster. Anything that helps you be comfortable. I also want to remind you that this is your practice, so do what feels right. If that is closing your eyes through the movements, softening your gaze, I invite you to make that decision on what feels comfortable. If at any point your body is telling you something doesn't feel right, you can always come back to an easy seat and just focus on your breath. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and begin, and we're going to actually start by lying down on our back. So again, this might be a great time for you to use that blanket. Some people like to put it under their head. I actually like it right above my sacrum in my lower back. And go ahead and come to lying down on your mat. We're going to go into constructive rest. So your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor, and you can spread your feet to the edge of each side of the mat. And then just let your knees fall in and drop. Go ahead and take a deep breath in here. And exhale with an open mouth. Another inhale. And breathe it out. You can take your hands and leave them off to the side. You can put them right on your belly so you can feel that breath as it enters into the stomach area. Feel what feels right for you. And I'd like for you to focus on your breath here, just in its natural state, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And go ahead and set an intention for today's practice. Perhaps today was a long day. You want to release some of that stress. Maybe today is a day that you're struggling and you really want to focus that intention on your sobriety. Whatever that intention may be, maybe it's very clear, maybe it's just one word or phrase, maybe it's just gratitude and thanking yourself for making it to the mat today. Take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, seal in that intention. And then go ahead and slowly bring your knees into your chest. You can hug them. Option to wrap your arms underneath your knees. We're just going to rock back and forth here. Give that lower back a little bit of a massage. Make sure you're breathing. And then come back to center. Grab a hold of that right knee and place the left foot down on the ground. And we're going to do some hip circles here. You can place your left hand on your hip, wherever it's comfortable. Grab your right knee with your right hand and slowly start making some circles with that right hip. Remember to inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, reverse that and circle in the opposite direction. And we're going to go ahead and come back to center. Go ahead and clasp your hands behind your knee. We're going to raise that right foot up to the sky and inhale. Again, listen to your body. Maybe that hamstring's a little tight and you don't go all the way up. And exhale back down. We're going to flow here with the breath. So inhale up. Exhale down. On your breath, let's do 5 of these. And when you're done, come back to neutral. Bring that left knee in. And go ahead and put your right foot down. We're going to do some hip rolls again with our left side. So place your left hand on your knee, put your hand on your hip or wherever it's comfortable. Start to circle that hip. Opening that hip up. You might notice one side is a little different than the other. All our hips are different. In fact, usually we have one hip that's lower or higher than the other. And when you're ready, go ahead and reverse that circle. Come back to neutral. Clasp your hands behind your knee. And on the inhale, raise that left leg. Foot to the sky. And exhale back down. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Do 5 more of these on your breath. And when you're ready, come back to neutral. Hug both those legs in. Maybe give a little rock side to side. And now we're going to slowly rock our bodies, almost like north and south. You're going to rock forward and back till you eventually rock yourself all the way up into a seated position. And we are going to move into tabletop. So if you have sensitive knees, like I do, you might want to grab that blanket and put it underneath your knees. You want your hands placed right below your shoulders. We're going to move into some cat-cows. Again, focusing on that breath through each movement. So on the inhale, arch back, gaze comes up, and exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, chin to chest. Do 5 more of these on your breath. And when you're ready, come back to neutral spine. Go ahead and widen your knees, the edge of the mat. Bring your toes to touching, and we're going to push those sit bones down back into child's pose. And if it helps, you can put a block or a bolster underneath your sit bones here. You can also put a block underneath your forehead if you can't come all the way down to the ground. Feel that nice stretch in the lower back. Inhale here and breathe out. We're going to take our left hand and move it over towards our right and slowly walk our hands over to the right. Feeling a deep stretch in the left side of that rib cage. Breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and come back to center. Walk those hands back. Breathe here in center, child's pose. And now walk the left hand and the right hand over to the left side, opening up that right rib cage. Breathe into that rib cage. Feel the breath as it opens up. Come back to center. When you're ready, go ahead and lift yourself back up into tabletop. And on the inhale, curl your toes under, and on the exhale, push your hips up towards the sky into downward dog. We're just going to stay here. If you're feeling any tightness in your lower back, you can actually step your legs up a little bit and make a wider stance. You can bend at the knees if your hamstrings are feeling tight. And if your shoulders are feeling a little tight, go ahead and widen the stance of your hands. We're going to move here a little bit, walk the dog. Move those hips around. Make sure you're breathing. Release those shoulders from the ears. Create that space. I'm going to challenge you to take 2 deep breaths here. So inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and walk your feet forward or push your hands back into a forward fold. Bend slightly at the knees, ground down through the feet, and lift yourself all the way up as you inhale. Extended mountain pose, hands over your head. And on the exhale, hands to heart. Come into mountain pose, hands to your side. Deep breath in, hands up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. This is a great place if you want to use your blocks. If your hands don't feel right touching the ground, maybe you're a little tight, you can use those blocks. And we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale, bend at the knees, come all the way up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do 2 more rounds of these. Mountain pose, hands to the side. Inhale, hands overhead. Forward fold, exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale, come all the way back up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. And our last one, hands to the side. Inhale. Then swan dive on the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, all the way down. Ground down through those feet as you inhale, come all the way back up. And hands to heart in the exhale. Okay, we're going to move into some warrior poses. So go ahead and step your right leg forward. You want your foot facing forward. Your left leg is back. Your foot's at about a 45-degree angle. Hips facing forward. Ground down through those feet and bend that front knee so that it's just over that ankle. Take a deep breath in. Hands up to the sky and exhale. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths, and I'm going to give you some options. You can leave your hands up, framing your face, your head, your ears. You can bring your hands to heart center. Or you can cactus out those arms to the side, opening up that chest as you look forward. Deep breath in and exhale. Inhale. Okay, make sure you have those blocks around, and you're going to move into a low lunge. Again, grab the blanket, release that left knee down. Use the block or hands to earth. Your right leg is still in front. And we're going to be in this low lunge. And I want you to inhale as you place your hands on your right thigh. And exhale. Pull that left hip forward and push the right hip back. Really opening up that left hip. Inhale. And exhale. Now bring your hands back down to that block, and we're going to swoop that right leg so that it's coming right next to your left leg. And slowly walk it, swoop it around, whatever feels good to your body. Come into tabletop. And move your hands a little bit forward, or you can move your face back into a plank pose on your knee. Option is full plank here. Inhale, and on the exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. You're not pushing through your hands, you're just lifting your chest. Exhale back down. Inhale, curl your toes under. And on the exhale, lift up into downward dog. You can also push back into tabletop. Take a few breaths here. And you can walk your feet forward or your hands back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale all the way back. And exhale into mountain. And we're going to do the same sequence on our left side. So let's go ahead and step our left foot forward and our right foot back. Hips facing forward. Bring that right hip forward, left hip, push it back. Take it, bend that front knee. Take a deep breath in, arms up, and exhale. Use your options here. You can stay, you can practice out to the side, hands to heart, and breathe here. We're going to move into a low lunge. So grab that blanket. If you have those sensitive knees, release the right knee down to the ground. Grab that block or hands to earth. Pull yourself up and place your hands on your left side. Inhale here. Exhale. Bring that right hip forward. And feel it opening up, left hip back. And when you're ready, bring your hands back down to the earth or your blocks. Loop that left leg around, right next to the right. And you can either walk your hands forward a little bit or push your knees back into plank pose. Inhale, and on the exhale, lower down. Move that block if it's in your way. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, curl those feet under. And on the exhale, push yourself up into downward dog. Again, you can push back into child's pose and remain here as an option. Remember to breathe. And if you were in child's pose, go ahead and come up to downward dog as we walk our feet forward and your hands back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale into mountain. Okay, go ahead and come to the long edge of your mat. Take a little bit of a wide stance here. And I want you to take your right leg and your right foot and face it forward. Your left foot becomes at a 45-degree angle. Your hips are still facing forward. And we're going to take an inhale. Hands out, bend the knee into warrior two. Stay here for a second. Catch our breath if we need to. And when you're ready, flip the right palm up. Inhale as you scoop yourself back into peaceful warrior. You can place your hand on your left leg. Inhale. And on your next exhale, we're going to cartwheel those arms back the other way and do a side angle stretch. So rest that right elbow onto your right knee. Your left hand can be stretched out over your head. You can stay straight up. You can even stay on your hip. And feel the stretch in the left side of your body. Inhale, come all the way back up into peaceful warrior. And back to a wide-legged stance. We're going to work on the left side. So now I'm going to ask you to turn your left foot facing the short edge of the mat. Your right foot's at 45 degree angle. Hips are still facing forward. Bend that front knee to bring your arms up. Gaze out over the tip of the left fingers. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, lift that palm up towards the sky. Pull yourself back into peaceful warrior. Inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, bring yourself all the way back over, cartwheeling your arms into a side angle stretch. Left elbow on that left thigh, right arm stretched out overhead. On your hip, whatever your body is telling you you need. Inhale, and on the exhale, bring yourself back up into warrior two. And come back to a wide angle or a wide-legged stance. Adjust your yoga uniform if you need to. And we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. So again, your feet are further than hip width apart, but you don't want it to be too far apart that you just lose control of those feet. Hands on your hip. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen through the spine. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, forward fold. And if you want blocks, that's an option to put your hands on your blocks. Breathe here. And we're going to take our hands and walk them slowly to the right as far as feels comfortable. Getting a stretch through that left side of the body. Inhale and open mouth, exhale. Come back to the center. And if you're using a block, you can go ahead and walk that block over to the left side with you. Maybe you need to bend at the knees. Inhale as you feel that stretch and that breath in through the right side. And then go ahead and walk that block or your hands back to center. Put your hands on your hips as you ground down through your feet. Inhale, go ahead and lift yourself up. Walk your legs back to center. Zip in that inner thigh seam. And we're going to come to a seated position. If the sitting and cross-legged is not what your body needs right now, we have some options. You can place a blanket or a bolster underneath. You can sit with your knees together and that blanket or block underneath you. So use those props and listen to your body. I'm going to do some seated side twist. So take your left hand and bring it to your right hip. Your right hand behind you. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, twist your body, looking over that right shoulder. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. And on those exhales, you can try and twist a little further, looking over that right shoulder. And when you're ready, come back to center. We're going to take our right hand to our left knee, our left hand behind us. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist. On your breath, breathe through the stretch. And on the next exhale, come back to center. Now we're going to take our left hand, lift it up to the sky. Inhale, and as you exhale, lean towards the right side, giving a stretch through the left. You can put your hand on the mat, your right hand on the mat. You can sink down onto your elbow, or you can stay into a very slight stretch. Take a deep breath in here and feel the rib cage open up. Make sure those ears are away from your shoulder blades. As you breathe, inhale, come all the way back up to center. And we're going to take our right arm up. Inhale, as we lean towards the left side and place that left hand down on the ground. You listen to your body, however deep you want the stretch to be as you breathe. Again, one side may be tighter than the other. Open up through that rib cage. You can even look up to the sky and breathe. Inhale, come all the way back up. And we're going to do some cool downs by laying down on the ground. So come to lie down on your back. Again, you can get a blanket if that's what your body needs, a bolster. We want our feet on the ground, our knees bent. And go ahead and bring your left foot, or I'm sorry, your right foot up to your left knee. And it makes almost like the number 4. And as you're in this position, you want to push that right knee away from your body to open up that hip. Breathe here. And if your body's feeling it, you can lift that leg up, left leg, and grab behind the left knee and pull it in towards your body. Play around with flexing your foot here. Gives a different type of stretch if your foot is pointed versus neutral or flexed. Breathe here. And if your body wants a deeper stretch, you can grab a hold of that left knee and pull in even further. This is supine pigeon. This is one of my favorite stretches. And when you're ready, go ahead and step that left foot back down. Bring the right foot back down. And take the left foot and cross it over the right knee into that number 4. Again, feel through that left hip here. Push it away from your body as you breathe. And when you're ready, you can raise that right leg, grab behind the right knee, and stretch here. Play around with that foot, flexing, pointing, whatever feels good to your body, and breathe. Again, you can grab the knee or the shin, pull that right leg in further if your body's wanting a deeper stretch. And when you're ready, go ahead and drop that right foot back down to the ground. Bring the left foot down to join it. And we're just going to windshield wiper our knees. So go ahead and drop them to the right. And as you do this, you can bring your arms out into a T. Inhale, bring your knees back up to center. Exhale, bring them to the left side. Drop them down to the ground. Option here, you can put a block underneath your knees. And I'm going to give you 2 options. You can stay here in a longer stretch and just breathe. Or you can flow as you windshield wiper from side to side. Exhaling as you drop. Inhaling as you raise your knees to center. Listen to what your body needs. Sometimes it needs to stay in a stretch a little bit longer. And when you're ready, bring those knees back to center. Bring your knees up towards your chest. And we're just going to hug those knees, rock back and forth a little. If your body is feeling it, you can grab a hold of your feet into happy baby. Rock back and forth, whatever your body needs. And when you're ready, bring your knees back down to the ground. And it is time for my favorite part, Shavasana, where we will rest. And at this point, I really want you to think about what's going to be the most comfortable for you as you're laying down. We'll be laying in a corpse pose with our feet straight, or you can take a bolster or blanket, put them underneath your knee. You can have that blanket underneath your lower back. You can grab a pillow, whatever feels good for you to rest here. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale through open mouth. As we prepare for Shavasana, I'm going to walk you through a body scan as we connect that mind, body, breath. Bring your attention, your focus, awareness to your left foot, to your right foot, both feet. Left calf, right calf, both calves. Left knee, right knee, both knees. Left thigh, right thigh, both thighs. Left hip, right hip, both hips. Belly, chest, left shoulder, right shoulder, left arm, right arm, both arms. Left hand, right hand, both hands. Your head, your left eye, your right eye, both eyes. Take a moment and rest, and I will bring you back next time. And go ahead and slowly start to move. Maybe circle those wrists. Circle those ankles. Take a deep breath in and maybe stretch those arms overhead. If you're just waking up, whatever movement feels good to you. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side. Take a breath here. And push yourself up into a seated position whenever you feel it's time. Take a deep breath here and open mouth exhale. You can bring your hands to your heart. I want to thank you for sharing this time with me. Please thank yourself for being here and giving yourself that extra care, that extra time, just for you. From my heart to your heart, namaste.